I just want justice for David. You know, like I said, he had a beautiful soul. He had a full life ahead of him. He was graduating early. He wanted to work with his dad. He just was full of life. Um, and everybody loved him.
Authorities in Florida are filing criminal charges against a teen girl who allegedly shot her friend while they were playing with a gun. I sat down with the victim's mother to learn more about him and what she hopes to see happen in this case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Deputies in Orange County, Florida rushed to a home on July 30th when there were reports that one teenager had shot another. According to deputies, 16-year-old David Anthony Vargas Aker took a gun to a home, and he and two friends were playing around when one of the friends seemingly accidentally fired the weapon, killing David. Investigators uncovered that the three of them were posing with the gun, pointing it at each other, when a female juvenile allegedly pointed the gun at David, pulled the trigger. The girl was arrested last week. She is charged with one count of aggravated manslaughter of a child. She was taken to the Orange County Juvenile Assessment Center, and because of her age and because she's not been charged as an adult, the girl was not officially identified. According to his obituary, David was set to graduate in the coming school year alongside his 17-year-old sister, Adriana. David was known for his intelligence and had a bright future ahead. David was the light of his family, known for his warm smile and contagious laugh. He had many ambitions and goals, including becoming an iron worker alongside his father and brother, and eventually starting a family business as a general contractor. David was the fourth of 6 children and was described as the glue that kept the family together. Okay, so with that in mind, and to learn more about David as well as this case, I want to bring in right now Veronica Acker. This is David's mother. Veronica, thank you so much for coming on. I am so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for what you and the family are going through right now.
Thank
Just to
you.
start with, how are you doing?
We are devastated. A big piece of our heart is missing. As we've stated in other interviews on the news, David was the glue that kept our family together. So, we're missing him. He had a lot of plans for his life, and all of those things got taken away from him. They got taken away from us.
Yeah. And it's our understanding that a service for David was held on Monday, right?
Oh my goodness, we had the most beautiful service yesterday. Um, we had seating for about 350 people. Um, our child was so loved that there was a line. They had to live stream. There was a line outside of the chapel, that everybody could make it inside.
That's
He had
amazing.
elementary school teachers, middle school teachers, high school teachers that showed up for him. That's just how much of an impact David made on people. He was a great kid.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. What has it been like to get that amount of support? I imagine that it's not just from people who knew David, but people who hear about this story as well, right?
The community coming together for us has been amazing. It's just unfortunate that it's under these circumstances.
Absolutely. And I understand that a GoFundMe has been set up as well to help with the funeral expenses. And if there's any legal fees,
Yes.
can you tell us about that? We're more than happy to put it up as well. And hopefully if people can support you, they can. But how's the GoFundMe doing so far?
We've almost reached, I think we're maybe 2,000 and something short of our goal. Like I said, it's just been amazing to see so many people support us during this difficult time.
I talked a little bit about David in our intro of this story, but if you can give us an insight, what was he like? What was he like as a son? Again, there's, I think, only so much that, some what the statements online are about and what the media reporting is, but I would love to hear from you about what David was like.
David was always a happy kid. He loved to sing. Um, he praised God as a little kid, worship songs. As he got older, he kind of started making his own music, his own raps, in hopes to eventually make it into the music business. He was just an amazing kid. He was my protector. Nobody could mess with me. Parents and kids, they get into their arguments. But if it was anybody else getting into an argument with me, he wasn't having it.
Hmm.
He was just an amazing kid.
Yeah,
You know, he filled our house with so much light, and we definitely we feel his absence.
I'm sure. And you know, Veronica, I know how tough this is for you to not only you're dealing with this, but also being able to speak about it. So I appreciate you coming on to do that. If you can, though, how did you find out what happened to David?
So basically, we had been at an Airbnb. We were having basically a family get together for my brother-in-law who flew down from New York. Um, we all kind of went our separate ways. We came home. We were getting ready to go to sleep. I think I was already kind of in and out of sleep already, and we got a knock on the door. And a deputy came and asked if I was Veronica Acker. I told her yes. She said, "You need to go to the hospital now. Your son's been shot." So at that point, we didn't know we had lost him. We thought he got shot, and that they were able to save him. We didn't know we had lost him already.
That's so awful. And did you, when you found out the details of what investigators said happened, what was your reaction to that?
We were just in disbelief, At first, it was an accident. They were playing with a gun. For me, an accident is a gun falls on the floor and somebody gets shot. But when you intentionally pull a trigger, when you point it at somebody's face, you know the consequences of pulling that trigger.
What makes you say that this was intentional, that this was purposeful, that this wasn't an accident? Because again, right now, the person they have in custody is being charged with manslaughter, not murder. What makes you believe that this was intentional?
For me, I'm a firm believer that guns don't kill people. People kill people. And if you pull that trigger, you know what happens when you pull that trigger. So for me, it's intentional. You don't accidentally pull a trigger and shoot somebody and take their life. And for me, it's you shot him in the face. You didn't even give him a fighting chance. It was in the face and he bled out. So for me, there's no accident there.
Do you, Veronica, know more about these people that he was with? Do you know more about this girl that he was with?
I have no idea. I know I saw him on Face. David was always on FaceTime. He'd love to be on the phone. I know that I had maybe heard him on the phone with her maybe once or twice. But this is not a girl he brought home. David's only really brought two girls home that he was ever really serious about. So this caught us completely by surprise.
Because there's reporting that this is, certain media outlets have reported that this was his girlfriend, but that's, you're saying, is not true.
Not at all. No. And even after speaking to the detectives, because we asked that question too, were they dating? And we were told no, there was no indication via text messages that they were in fact dating. They were just friends.
This is a really tough legal case, a really sad case to see. And when you think about it, truth be told, some of the most challenging cases can be those where people get injured, where they get hurt. That is especially true for the victims. But that is why I want to call out Morgan & Morgan, our incredible partner and sponsor. This is America's largest injury law firm, a firm with 1,000 attorneys, a firm that provides clients with a dedicated team of case investigators, paralegals, customer case specialists, a firm that has secured verdicts and settlements in the multi-millions across this country, a firm with no upfront fee, a firm that makes the process so easy because all of this can be done straight from your smartphone. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/LC Sidebar. Did he tell you that he was going to hang out with friends that night? What did you know about what he was doing?
No, so he was supposed to be with his older brother at his girlfriend's house. So that is where we knew he was going to be at. Anytime David wasn't at home, he was with his big brother, his 19-year-old brother.
And Veronica, I'm so sorry I have to ask this, but any idea how David got this gun?
No idea. It's sad that in the world that we live in today, guns are so accessible to kids. Kids are curious. They don't know gun safety, and something like this happens.
Does it feel almost out of character that David would have had the gun and brought it there? Do you think that there's more parts of this story that we just don't know yet?
I honestly don't know. We didn't know of him having a gun.
Yeah.
So we just, and of him having videos, with them playing with it. That wasn't who David was.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe David's grandmother has asked that this manslaughter charge against this girl be upgraded to murder. Do you want the same thing to happen?
I just want justice for David. Like I said, he had a beautiful soul. He had a full life ahead of him. He was graduating early. He wanted to work with his dad. He just was full of life. And everybody loved him. So for us, we don't feel it's fair for someone who took our son's life to be able to get a slap on the wrist and they get to enjoy the rest of their life like if they did nothing. So if not a murder charge, at least try it as an adult.
Yeah, and I know the investigation's ongoing in terms of the law enforcement perspective, but have prosecutors indicated anything to you that they may upgrade this charge to murder or that they may end up trying her in adult court?
We have not heard anything yet,
Do
as
you,
of yet.
do you feel the communication, are you satisfied with the communication between you and the prosecutor's office?
I actually have a meeting with them tomorrow, so hopefully we'll have a little bit a clearer understanding of what's going on and what to expect.
Yeah. And do you plan on maybe retaining an attorney who can help you navigate this process?
Yes, most definitely. We're not familiar with Florida law and anything like that, so we will definitely have an attorney with us.
Has anybody from the parents of this young lady or any of the parents of the other people who were there, have they reached out to you at all?
Nothing at all.
I'm so sorry. Veronica, people are watching this. I know people are going to see this. They're going to say, what can we do to help? What would you tell them? What's the best way that people can help you in any which way, you and the family, during the course of this process? What can they do, people who watch this?
Honestly, right now, we don't even know ourselves what we need. But the only thing that we can ask for is prayers to help us get through this, because it's gonna be a long road. This is not anything that you get over or you heal from. So just a lot of prayers for our family. There's 5 other kids here that they're missing their brother. I have a 3-year-old who keeps asking about her brother. Where's David? So we have to ease into letting her know that she's never going to get to see him again.
Veronica, I am so sorry to hear this, and we can do that. I know we can give you our prayers, and I know that people are going to watch this, and they're going to hopefully support you guys in the GoFundMe as well. If there's anything that we can do, please let us know. We want to follow this, see how it progresses. But I think it's important, not only to get this story out there and what's happening with the investigation, but also, as I appreciate you let everybody know who David was. And by all accounts, such a great kid, had the world in front of him, very special, and clearly had, such a great mom too. So you speak so highly of him. His memory lives on through you and the family.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. Speak to you next time.